Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at Veracity, and just before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin, but I'll cover that all together here in just a moment. And before we get into this here as well, I want you to know I've been trading for a very long time, and my goal here is just to help you become a better trader. Simply put, I have a trading community, trading academy as well, where I teach you how to become a better trader, and I send out signals for every trade that I take. So just bear in mind, those are available at CryptoCache.tech. Link in the description below. So looking here at Veracity, pretty straightforward stuff here, but it's all good for lack of better terms, right? The last 4 trading days have been very, very green for Veracity, and big picture, truth be told, it's been held down for a lot longer than it should, and it's bouncing back very nice. Just bear in mind, of course, when you see 3 strong green candles like this, it could be followed by a 4th red day, and Bitcoin's jumped up what 11% on Friday, and I think just in the last 24 hours, it's been somewhere in the range of 5%. So that's a huge jump compared to where it was at previously, right? We went from the 30s to the 40,000 range, and Veracity is following suit. Okay, now Veracity isn't 100% reliant on Bitcoin, but it is definitely needing Bitcoin to do well to have less fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and allow money coming back in, right? Because again, Veracity was profitable for a while, and obviously the profits have been taken over the last few months. Okay, so it's back on track, which is excellent. Let's look at some of the obvious stuff and we'll go ahead and work our way down. We're up over the 50-day set moving average on the 1-day chart. Extremely important to be back up over that. That's a very, very good indication to help us understand that we're above a key level support, which here at this point is right around 2.8 cents. So 2.8, 2.9 cents, right in that range. We're traveling up on the RSI, of course, so keep in mind once we hit 70, that could be a potential resistance, which is reflected at about 3.5 cents on the chart. So, just know that 3.5 cents, we could have somewhat of a resistance channel here, just based on that sentiment alone, right? But if we get up over 70 on the RSI in the 1 day, we'll be looking very good for that to possibly become a new support level. That does happen a lot with these continuation patterns, okay? So good stuff there for Veracity. I really like that. We can also see on the 4-hour, we're up over both moving averages. That's extremely important to have that as well. Just note that this is a lot of growth in a short amount of time, right? The last 24 hours, we've seen the most amount of growth here, and that, from bottom to top, 44% is a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a slight pullback, just maybe a correction down to the next level, support level at about 3.1 cents, or possibly even, once again, 2.9, right in that range. So this could be a nice little support channel here. Of course, the price were to come back down, we can expect it probably not to go much lower based on that. But we also got to just be real with ourselves here in the fact that TD Sequential is telling us that we got about maybe 2 or 3 4-hour candlesticks left before we see a pullback, right? When we're at a 6 on TD Sequential, that means we've got maybe 12 hours left of continuation before the price were to come back down. So be mindful of that, right? These pumps are likely more reflectant of Bitcoin's increase, not necessarily just the fact that it's doing very well on its own. Keep this in mind too, though. It comes up to a 9 and typically goes sideways and then increases from there. The likelihood of Veracity shooting straight up is very low, just based on the simple sentiment and the fact that it's already done very well for itself in the last 12 to 24 hours. Okay, so again, this extreme increase may get followed by a decrease, right? So I would hypothesize here that 2.9 cents is a likelihood much more than the likelihood of 3.1 cents holding, right? And just being realistic in that sense, again, the harder you come up, the harder you come down, okay? So just letting you know that is the case, but we're not overextended yet, even though RSI is up over 70 on the 4-hour. I don't love this, but I think the likelihood of pullback is definitely there. It still has time left, if you will, to continue to increase because it had a nice cooling off period here, almost a full 24-hour consolidation at 2.3 cents, okay? So good stuff here for Veracity. The midterm does look like it wants to continue and likely should. Just bear in mind, if you have profit targets in place, let them roll. Maybe consider taking some profits at the point in which it's at now, because it could definitely turn back around, right? We cannot overlook the fact that it's a bit on the overextended side. Most coins are like that right now, though, too. So just bear that in mind as well. Another thing to note also here is the fact that we have the price kind of hanging out here right at a 7 on TD Sequential. Okay, so it's another hour or two, and we could expect pullback or at least consolidation. But what is also nice, little consolation, so to speak, here is this little 8 to 10 hour time frame of consolidation. That's extremely important to have that for every leg up. So even though I don't love how hard it's come up recently, I like that it's come up, calmed down, and then came up again. So if we can get this nice little calm down to kind of bounce off the support, we could get the price continue upwards again. Okay. So again, Veracity isn't exuding terrible behavior. It's just it's this it's been due for a correction for a long time, right? It's come down way further than it should have, and it's time to come back and make that stand, so to speak. So I do like that Veracity is coming back. It's a coin that does very well, synonymous when Bitcoin is doing at least average. All we need is Bitcoin to go sideways for a little bit, and then we'll see Veracity continue to increase. It's just one of those things because again, it got pushed down a lot harder than it should have. Taking a look at Ichimoku Cloud, we can see we've also got no consideration for a sell signal here, but just again, if the price were to kind of come down here to this support level, we'll see the same thing reflected on the lagging span, and that could indicate we want to close our position, right? Again, conservative indication is what Ichimoku Cloud does. It gives us very conservative indicators. That being said, I'm more of a conservative trader myself, so I'd recommend considering, again, trimming some of your position, take some profits if you have them, and obviously, let it ride if you're more of a long-term investor. Most people that are into Veracity are, right? So just, disregard my recommendation to sell and take some profit, let it ride, I guess. But it wouldn't be a terrible place to consider dollar cost averaging as well if the price were to come down, just say it closer to 2.9. So maybe consider a limit order somewhere in the 2.9 range to add to your position if the price were to lose that current support. Not to say that it will, but if it were to, and we kind of continue this exhaustive state to the upside, we can expect to pull back down to 2.9 or 3.1. One of those two will happen. All right. So again, just be cautious and careful. And again, if you are needing to become a better trader, I have a trading community built with the specific purpose of helping you become a better trader. I've got a trading academy, a series of videos to watch to help you with foundational skills of becoming a better trader. I think a lot of people skip the foundational benefit and go right to the advanced trading techniques and get wrecked. It happens a lot. Unfortunately, a lot of my members have done that. And that's why I made the Trading Academy that I just rolled out with 7 days ago on the first of the month to ensure you can get a good foundation in before you start those advanced trading techniques. Because yes, I share signals with you of every single trade that I take, but unless you know the reason why I'm taking them in the first place, it's going to be kind of contradictory. And you also need to have a good, solid risk tolerance in place, and you need to know who you are as a person and evaluate that before you take these advanced type of trades. Okay, so between now and then, of course, just take it as you can. Watch as much of my videos as possible to learn the foundations, learn the skill sets that you need. But my whole purpose in this journey is to ensure that we work together to get you where you need to go, right? So again, it's never too late to learn how to learn or how to trade again, right? Some of us forget and skip over some of the basics, and I think those are important. Anyways, enough about that. I apologize. I just like to kind of let you know that because unfortunately a lot of people will kind of skip steps, and it's really important to focus on the basics of trading before you get too advanced. Obviously, I've talked about that enough. So thank you so much for your time here. I hope you learned something here today, of course. Oh, one last thing. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and summarize one last thing here. Just say hypothetically Veracity were to continue on this trend here. Right, it continues up and it breaks the resistance level of 3.6 cents. If it were to do that, it could likely get upwards of the range of 5.4 cents within, I would say, at the very least, at the very earliest, within 3 or 4 trading days, right? So the end of this week, we could literally see somewhere in the range of 5.4 cents. I'm only saying that so you understand the potential, not telling you that that's what's going to happen. Right? There's a lot that needs to happen between now and then. We need to break this key level resistance of 3.5, and then we can reevaluate if we get there. But, the truth be told, it's progressing nicely. It's having nice continuation patterns. They're large staircases, but they are still a staircase type of pattern. So if it continues that and has a nice little reprieve at just say consolidation at 3.5 cents for a couple of days, we could literally see it up at 5.4 by weekend, likely even month end too. So just know Veracity has a lot of potential, and I think that it's definitely going to do some good things, but once again, we got to get over 3.5 cents first. That's the first key level resistance I think is going to potentially hold the price down, just based on the fact that it got rejected out on January on the 12th, and we could see that happen again soon. We need more volume. We need more foundation here in order to get there. All right, once again, thanks so much for your time. We'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.